Anthony White, will you take us through this painting behind you, Docile Bodies?
Yeah, absolutely. This work, Docile Bodies, was influenced by a book that I was reading, and it's called Discipline and Punish by Michel Foucault. It was written in 1977, specifically, I mean, the whole book talks about surveillance, and it talks about, you know, the birth of the modern prison, the panopticon, and surveillance, how our behaviour changes as we're being watched. And I thought there was that one part of surveillance which I built an exhibition about, which also relates to the upcoming exhibition in Latvia, because it was to do with a fortress, which again is what is a fortress, but it's a mode of surveillance of the country, right, to watch out. But primarily this was influenced by specifically the opening chapter of it, which describes the punishment of a guy who attacked the king, Louis XV at the time, Robert Francois Damien, at Hotel de Ville. I think it was 1757, and so he got executed, and he was pulled apart. Awful, yeah. But the subject matter and the energy with which it's written really just had this energy in it, and I thought, wow, it really motivated me to make a painting about it. And also that it related to this corporal punishment, and the fact that, you know, the punishment in society today is not about the punishment to do with the body, but it's more to do with the soul, which is something that goes sort of on forever, right? Which relates to sort of like technology as well, right? And to art, things that sort of go on throughout time. So I called it Docile Bodies because a docile body is something that's not moving or in action. And for my mind, that is, a docile body is something that is not politically active. So that's the reason of the title. And then, you know, it draws upon this like an abstract expressionist aesthetic. And it was birthed really out of like the spirit of experimentation. So I started like, I went to Yves Klein Foundation. I was looking at some of the works that his wife did, actually, with throwing rags. And so I started throwing rags at some paintings because I thought that there's a real energy with a thrown rag and when it hits the surface. And actually, it's sort of like a print. You can actually make out with some of the rags, you can make out actually what sort of cloth it was, what sort of object it was. So I love that. I love the fact that, and it also does a thing which is very modern. It flattens the surface, right? So it makes a shallow space instead of a perspective space, right? Which doesn't allude to a landscape. It alludes to a modern piece of art, right? Which is modernism, full stop. But there's also something about it which related to the body. And I like that because I paint with my body, and it was a reaction to this piece of text. Yeah, that's pretty much. I think that's.
Thank you. And so yes, there's a strong gestural importance there.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm a gestural painter. Mm-hmm. I let that come through in my work, and this is a collage, so it's a bit different. So it's a bit different in that respect.
Well, the energy is phenomenal energy. Is that what you were trying to express too? The energy?
Because, absolutely, yes. Yeah. When you read the opening chapter of this book, yes. It is an intense chapter, and I really wanted to create something strong, and I think, you know, materiality is something that creates straight away a presence in a space. I think that's why I've been drawn to making paintings that have a lot of paint or a lot of material here in terms of collage and different techniques of applying paint.
Yes, it's a phenomenal work, Anthony. Thank you. And that was painted?
That was painted in 2019.
2019. Thank you very much.
Thank you.